You expecting a new family member? There are a lot of pregnancy myths and urban legends out there. So today we're breaking those down for you. Dr. Rachel Fillion with the Mother Baby Center is here to walk us through it. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, so there are much pregnancy advice online.
Yeah.
What do patients get confused the most?
Yeah, you name it. I think there's a lot of confusion out there from how you find out what you're having, when's the right time to see your primary provider, whether that's a doctor or a midwife, where you should be having your baby, what you should be eating when you're pregnant. All of those things come with a lot of guidance on TikTok and Instagram. From family and friends, and of course your medical providers. So all over the place, there's sources for confusion.
I know, a lot to sift through. So let's just talk about the basics. I mean,
Sure.
When should families start telling that they are having a baby?
Yeah, such an exciting time for most people. It can also be a time of mixed emotions. There is this myth that you shouldn't tell people you're pregnant until the end of the first trimester. That stems from the risk of first trimester miscarriage a lot of times. There's no right or wrong time to tell your support people in your community if you want to. Some people want a major milestone like the heartbeat around 6 weeks, or genetic testing, or the first kind of anatomy assessment at 12 weeks, or even after the 20-week anatomy scan that can happen. And some people want to be more private through their whole pregnancy. But no wrong time to tell a supportive group of folks about your pregnancy.
Okay, no right or wrong, just depends on what you're comfortable with.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so I know a lot of us have heard eat for two
Yeah.
when you're pregnant.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
really have to change your eating a lot when you're pregnant?
It's a great question. So throughout pregnancy, most people don't need to change up their diet that significantly. The U.S. diet, a well-balanced diet, usually has the nutrients that people need and the protein they need. In the second and third trimester, about 300 more calories for most pregnancies is all that people need per day. It's about a peanut butter sandwich, so not a huge amount. That said, there might be different health conditions or concerns that people have that they might be guided towards having some different approaches to food. And then also, some people might just feel really sick and lousy and so have to restrict what they're eating. If there are concerns about that, then we always ask that people talk to their primary healthcare provider.
Okay, so you don't have to stray too far from the norm, but just check in case.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you hear a lot on social media about different ways to induce pregnancy. I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen people like walking a lot and all
Yeah.
that. Are there certain foods or activities that you can do to do that?
Yeah, walking is a great way. And if you talk to a woman who's pregnant in the third trimester, she'll tell you about the contractions she gets when she's moving around a bit, particularly on a hot day.
Yeah.
There's an acupressure point that a lot of people are aware of, down kind of by the ankle. There's a lot of foods that are reported to induce labor. Most of them are harmless. Some can actually trigger a lot of intestinal distress, and then the uterus is a bit of an innocent bystander. So before we try the foods to help induce labor, I would say it's worth talking to your healthcare providers before. Most of the time it doesn't hurt, but we don't want people getting sick going into a labor process.
Yeah, that's really true. And that kind of leads into my next question. I mean, there's so much advice coming in. How do folks know what's actually worth listening to?
Yeah, it can be really tricky, and I think there's a lot of important perspectives, and always at the end of the day, we want people to have a really good relationship with their healthcare provider. We have a lot of good information at our partnership website between Allina and Children's Minnesota, and opportunities for people to meet with providers there. So that's a great place, I think, to get reliable information and to fact check, and you can talk to people about pregnancy even before getting pregnant if you have questions or concerns, and want a chance to think about it before actually conceiving.
All right, lean on your doctor during
That's
this
right.
time. All right, doctor, thank you so much for all
Yeah.
these great tips. We'll have more about this information at care11.com/noon. We'll be right back.